Let me explain how the system for collecting potential clients, prospects, works step by step, how they're processed, communicated with through AI, and then handed off to an agent. So initially, we have a certain audience that we want to find. We can look for them on Google, in various online databases, through search queries, or on different social networks. First, we might search for companies or certain businesses, and then for founders or employees in those businesses who are relevant to us. And as a result, we end up with specific people and accordingly their data. We gather specific queries and search for people not just randomly on the internet, but based on special qualifications, and then we filter them further. The reason for this is so that we find exactly those people who already have some initial interest in our topic. Or we know that they are familiar, let's say, with our market, because if we're selling abroad, a large number of people might not be aware of any advantages or the quality, opportunities, or features of another market, right? The one where we're offering our services. That's why we make a specific request to search for particular data. Then we pull up their LinkedIn accounts or accounts on other social networks. We classify them again to make sure these are really the people we need. We go through their data, gather additional information about the company, and then among the people we need, we find their contacts. Once we have successfully identified and found these specific contacts, they are then automatically transferred over to our central database for further direct communication with the advanced AI agent. Our AI agent can communicate by making calls, sending emails, WhatsApp messages, or even SMS messages. For example, we've recently started receiving a lot of messages to the AI agent's number from people asking for information about the number that called them or about the company providing the services. So, right after the AI agent receives all the necessary information about the client, let's just say it's going to go ahead and call this person up, right? Does that make sense? So it calls them, it has their name. We immediately have a record. We have a brief summary of our call, a transcript, a rating, the cost of the call, and let's say any additional data we might need. Also, if the person asks to be sent some specific information, then in our tagging system, an info icon can appear, and we'll know that the system or the agents working through this system need to provide this person with some additional information. That's it. So after, let's say, we receive a call, instead of constantly sitting in the system, there's a reminder system in place. So you get these notification cards with call recordings. If the AI agent calls someone back or someone called them, a recording is also created. And accordingly, right here, we can immediately see the classification, whether the last call was scheduled or not. We can listen to the recording, open the lead's profile, and so on. We use the system to independently monitor, say, every 10th or 20th call. Furthermore, whenever we happen to see the lead quality specifically marked as medium, high, or even low, we usually make it a priority to listen to that specific call right away at first. After doing that, we will typically send another detailed reminder to the agents directly in the chat, just to ensure they don't accidentally miss out on a potentially good lead. And that is pretty much the whole process. Sometimes clients behave in strange ways, and all of this needs to be double checked several times, and accordingly, the system needs to be improved. So basically, we get a notification here, and we constantly send a message to the agents group saying that a certain lead has come in. For example, if the AI booked a meeting for a specific time, we remind the agents so they don't miss it. Additionally, each agent's phone number is connected to a special bot, and it also sends notifications to the agents. Like if someone, for example, visited their LinkedIn profile or sent them a message on LinkedIn, or if they have a meeting scheduled for today, and so on. All of this is specifically designed to make sure we don't lose any clients. Sometimes it happens that a client goes through the entire qualification process with the AI agent, but the call gets dropped for some reason. In that case, we quickly message them in the chat so they don't lose the client, maybe call them back, and so on. That's how the system works. It has a lot of different directions. For example, right now, we're also connecting LinkedIn, so we're using the same database for calls, and we're gradually warming up those leads. So, first, we send connection requests from a person, then we send a message. After that, we might send an email, and only after several touch points do we, for example, actually call them. And in this case, the client has already seen us somewhere beforehand. If we call on our own behalf or as a company, by the time we actually get on a call with them, they're already somewhat familiar with us in advance and they're ready to communicate.